Hello everyone, welcome to the Character Dive, a show where I dive into the mind of characters from anime, video games, and other sources. The Akame Ga Kill series has tons of interesting characters on both the protagonist team, Night Raid, and the antagonist team, the Jaegers. In this episode of the Character Dive, we take a dive into the mind of the sister of the character the series is named after, Kurome. Kurome, the ominous assassin who wields the Imperial arms known as Yetsufusa. This blade has the ability to use the dead as her puppets, up to 8 to be specific. Her will to have a duel to the death with her sister is the primary driving force that keeps this girl in action. What's the reason for this, you may wonder? Let's take a look into the past, where it all started. Prior to the events of the main story, Kurome and her sister were sold to the Empire and placed into a survival examination involving danger beasts against their will. The unfortunate day came when Kurome would be taken away from her sister and be drugged and experimented on by a man named Uncle Bill. Things are already looking grim for Kurome. You're forced into a life or death situation, get taken away from your sister who was your only means of protection, to have some creepy bald dude experiment on you. I mean, look at him. He's enjoying this way too much. I'm pretty sure he did some things with her while she was drugged. Later on, Kurome was in a prison facility where she was instructed to kill inmates, which she didn't like one bit. Being forced to kill her first victim, she was hesitant as Bill pushed her into the inmate, causing Kurome to stab him. This sickened her enough to cause her to vomit the entire night. Throughout these events, we can see Kurome reach a breaking point in her mental stability, which any sane person would if they had to endure the hell that she had been through. Sadly, she would later get used to the idea of taking a life as her training progressed and was desensitized by it completely. Let's break this down a little bit. What's happening to Kurome during this arc of the series is what happens to child soldiers. Not much needs to be explained here. Now there's an old saying, bend the tree while it's young. However a tree is bent while it's young will determine what it grows into. In Kurome's case, her being taken advantage of at a young age made it easy for them to turn her into an assassin. So what made her get used to the idea of taking a life so quickly? Her will to see her sister. A part of the process of her becoming an assassin is going up in the ranks. The higher her rank, the more missions she can take on. If she goes on the right mission, she'll have a chance to see her sister. As many would expect, being separated from Akame was a devastating experience for Kurome. After being reunited with her sister, Akame would then leave to join Night Raid. This would then leave a deep scar on Kurome's life, igniting the desire to kill her. Let this sink in for a moment. Someone she deeply trusted, someone she spent a majority of her life with, someone she cared for, has abandoned her. Keep in mind, Kurome is only a teen. It's guaranteed that something like this would cause her trauma. While the Jaegers make preparations for their mission to protect Bullock, Kurome claims to have recovered from the last battle they had back at the canyon.
Time to get up!
However, Wave sees through this and knows that she's not ready. Kurome then tells him that her old squad leader would execute those who are no use to the team and worries that Esdeath may do the same to her. It's clear that she's truly terrified of this outcome. We see her hyperventilating while claiming that she's okay. You could argue that it's the effects of what happened during her fight against Chelsea. I still think being traumatized would contribute to this. Kurome's a very kind individual. I'll be honest. The first time I watched this anime, I thought she was a bit strange.
How many will die? I want him to stay close to me forever and ever. He's my special friend.
But then she and I had mutual feelings towards a certain thing that happened not too long after the battle against Night Raid.
This is it?
After finding out about Bowles' death and nearly being killed by Chelsea, Kurome wakes up in a deep rage, ready to go in for the kill. Wait, how is her killing someone a demonstration of her being a caring person? The reason behind the killing. She wanted to get back at the enemy for what she did to one of her friends. A token of revenge, you may say. It's clear that Kurome's relationships are important to her. She values the connections she's made with people. She's stated that she loves her sister. Doesn't matter if they're on opposing teams or have separate goals from each other. She's still her sister, which is important to her. Also, when she saw Bowles, who was actually Chelsea in disguise, she felt relieved to see that he was okay after the explosion caused by his Imperial arms. Now for the big one that we're all thinking of, her relationship with Wave. When Wave worries about her safety, she tells him that she'll be okay, not wanting him to worry. She even gives him a bit of comfort whenever he's in an embarrassing situation. To top everything off, in the manga storyline, she even marries him. Ain't that a beautiful thing? Kurome's pretty cool. She's overcome many of the hardships that she had to face throughout her life. Despite the struggle, she was able to shine bright like a diamond in the very end. I think that's what it comes down to. Sometimes it's not about who you are through the struggle, but who you become in the end. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment below. I look forward to sharing more with you. See you next time.